We go into the Winnerbracket Semifinal with the picks and bans, but you say it, Remo. FoCuS always better online. He could be the player who benefits from this change the most. And we say this for years, that he's better online than offline. For the first time, Remo, on July 13th here, I got stats to back this up. I looked up the statistics of the players, their results online and offline. And the norm is that players have a 10% higher win rate when it's online. For FoCuS, it is 25%. That's insane, the difference between that.
Sounds about right, though, with what we've seen from FoCuS throughout the years. He oftentimes has these online highs where he's really impressing us, but then when it comes to the big offline tournaments, sometimes disappointing. He himself says he's in not very good shape. Is that going to change today?
I guess we all agree, but maybe, you know, in Gold League, we always had quite some upsets, and maybe FoCuS is coming out of nowhere, not being on the stage, not having too much pressure. Breaking news, by the way, that we revealed in the pre-show, his clan LP Club has renewed the contracts with Fortitude and Colorful. FoCuS still has a running contract, so no information about that, but LP stays in Warcraft. Nice to see that club supporting Warcraft in the future.
Yeah, good to hear.
For 3 years, by the way.
Like, moving on from now for 3 years? Oh, wow, that's cool.
Cool is also that we have game number 1 on Northern Isles in the blue for the Lao Pao Esports Club for South Korea. It is FoCuS. And in the upper right, we see it. We call him the Iceman, formerly Rogue Warrior, now for China, and himself. It is the Iceman. It's Infi.
Listening to the community ahead of these games, ahead of this day, everyone was saying Infi's the big favorite. Everyone was saying FoCuS was going to be losing this. Is that going to be the case? If both play their best, it might be hard for FoCuS still, because Infi can be a monster in this matchup. Infi revolutionized this matchup multiple times. Most recently was just in WGTL, not too long ago at all, where the Farseer TC Expo seemed to be so dominating and so tough for humans to deal with. Infi showed once again signature patience, just switching up the metagame and being comfortable to go counter expansion, which I think still is not the norm, but these games here today will show us a lot what the meta is all about, because we can be sure these games here in WGL will be defining the strategies and the metas around the world.
Just like last time when Lin redefined everything. Talking about Infi, he is of course a former Gold League champion. The very first edition was his to take in a final over 1-2-0. Since then, he went to a final again, also against 1-2-0. He lost that, but he hasn't been in the final in a long time. Since summer 2017, 3 years without an Infi in the final. I hope he got the hunger to go there again. Last 2 times, he was eliminated in the group stage. This is not supposed to be happening again, but Infi is kind of a mystery. We don't know in what shape he is. We only have 35 recorded games of his this year. The norm is around 70, so not playing too much anymore. Of course, he was playing in WGTL. He was at the beginning of the year playing the Huya Super League and won that. But apart from that, no tournament participation outside of the Gold League qualifiers. But yeah, we have our early game. We have Farseer versus Archmage.
And so far, early game strategy-wise, Infi is playing pretty predictably. Not going for a more nuanced creep route early, especially in Northern Isles. There's been a lot of development lately. Some humans like to go for a quick Tuskar camp for fast level 2. Some like to go from the first Claws camp to the bigger Murloc camp around the corner for the level 2. Infi just went old school for the Claws camp and then waiting for the Farseer to come in and trying to deal with him and the Wolves. This results in the AM not being level 2 for a long time, and I mean, it's very, very early in the game and in this series, but I was expecting something a little bit more developed. Well, would you look at that? Militia coming out, expansion on Northern Isles. Normally that's a thing only reserved for Echo. But here, Infi does it now on Northern. And considering the fact that FoCuS skipped the barracks and doesn't have grunts early, this should be working pretty well.
Let's see about that. Can FoCuS steal the experience here? This is so important. Hard to do, but important. Okay, this one goes to Infi. Level 2 and Brilliance Aura unlocked. How many peasants can he kill? The wolves are chasing. The wolves are hungry, but get to feed. And the second one goes to Infi as well. Level 2.5. And now he even kills a wolf for extra experience. This is looking pretty good for Infi. This one, I think, resummoned, if I saw this correctly.
I think he got it, actually.
Okay.
And with that, he is very close now to level 3. 1 or 2 green camps will give him level 2 water elementals. Farseer still only with the wolves. Shadowhunter second.
Okay, here we got the changes. Now we see FoCuS adapting. No Torrent Chieftain, no early Lodge, but Beastery.
Yeah, the TC is the much stronger late game hero, but he wants to go for a high impact mid game hero. That is the Shadowhunter, who with Hex can be very powerful. And double Beastery. Could be Raiders, could be Windriders. FoCuS is pretty much going all in already in this game.
On double level 1. Of course, Hex is gonna be strong. Ensnare is gonna be strong. Hero FoCuS might be an issue for Infi. Got the Talisman of Evasion, which is quite nice. And more footmen are coming in. Man. Infi said it in one of the pre-game interviews. Oh, nice last hit by FoCuS here. You will feel my towers. So maybe going back to a more multi-based... multi-base-based game by Infi that made him so famous in around 2008-2009.
Yeah, this is very much outside the norm. Normally, nowadays in this matchup, we see both races going for map control, one base tech, trying not to fall behind. But it seems like against this greedy, no barracks play, this is working out pretty well for the humans so far. Infi would love to get level 3, and that's exactly what FoCuS is trying to prevent right now. And here comes the Shadowhunter, and now we have Hex. Finally, time for FoCuS to find some kills.
Okay, Farseer is chasing, but very hurt already. Grunts take care of that footman over there. Infi's control so far very good, but can't prevent this kill. Archmage, the reaction to the Shadowhunter play, man, diving into his own base, hiding like a chicken, and that's probably the best thing he can do.
I think he lost 2 footies, but that's okay. Those are losses he should be able to afford with the expansion. Now standing and seemingly well protected. This green camp being stolen away could be a nice item here perhaps, and more importantly, no level 3 AM. And it's almost impossible now for this AM to hit level 3. There's nothing he can creep. FoCuS has full map control, and Infi has to play passively in Turtle for a while.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. How much impact will these Raiders have? He's trying to get the towers down. That doesn't work. Infi is ready. Lightning shield on the grunt in the passive line. That's pretty good. And for once, his Archmage is exposed and snares are flying. There is another Hex, so he has to TP out to his expo where the shop is. Is this FoCuS's moment? Very defensive TP. Well done. The grunt gets killed as well, but he cancels the tower.
For his return, they were creeping the green camp. That gave the AM level 3. Very smart by Infi. He's got the level 2 elementals now, defending his expansion. One tower got cancelled, but the other one I think should be coming up soon. There's still pressure on FoCuS. He needs to do big damage here. This is not a good army he's building here for the late game. He doesn't have an expansion for the late game. He needs to do big damage here, ideally win within the next few minutes.
Absolutely. Infi is just waiting and gathering his power. And snares all over. He's catching reinforcements, but so much regen on this Archmage. He's gonna use more and more water elementals to distract. If a couple of footmen die, that's totally fine. He's nowhere near critical levels on Farseer and Shadowhunter. It's getting better. He got Chain Lightning. He's gonna get Heal Wave. Tier 2 almost done though. But smart reaction by FoCuS. Realizes, okay, I can't do much of this expansion. There's towers. The Archmage is safe. But one of the best things he gets on tier 2 is a Mountain King. But without an altar, that's no option.
Yeah, he's setting it up again in the back. That one might be safe. Tower timing from Infi is pretty good, perhaps slightly late. Also want to give a shout out to the base build at the Expo. It was just perfect to protect this AM after the TP. Infi, an architect in Warcraft, certainly. He's always brilliant with his base design. Shadow does get level 2 though now. That is Heal Wave enabled. That does help greatly with the sustain on the Raiders. And more ensnares are starting to lead to more and more kills. This is starting to become a little bit painful here for Infi, who's still down massively in supply.
Yeah, another brilliant move by FoCuS to kill that farm on top of the altar. So he knew exactly that Infi would be supply stuck. Now after a couple of losses, he can finally start the second hero, but boy, did that take forever. Raiders are attacking the keep. Shadowhunter has a lot of mana, which he will use for the heal wave on the Raiders, but he's focusing on the footmen now to diminish the damage. Towers are up, but not that impactful against medium armor Raiders. I like FoCuS situation more and more. I don't see any Sanctums coming up.
And the difficult thing for Infi is he can't come in with the AM here. If he does, he's just gonna get ensnare locked, hexed, and killed, and that's probably gonna cost him the game. So he only has to send in a few... Whoa. Oh, tier 3. He has to send in a few watch elements at a time and wait patiently for this MK. Whether it be Clap or Stormbolt, it's going to be very helpful here once the MK comes out. But FoCuS is starting to get his transition going with the tier 3.
I'm very sure he has Pillage as well, right? So he's gathering a lot of resources from this attack, invested into his own tier 3 tech, and that could mean counter expansion.
He does have very even resources, though. So it's exactly 800, not 802 or something. But might still be Pillage. But I mean, even without Pillage, he's been killing a lot of things. He's been doing a lot of damage, and he didn't lose anything. I think he lost like one single Raider. His trading has been magnificent. And with that, FoCuS now has an option to go for the Tiny Great Hall counter expert.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. And leveling up a little bit. Level 2 for the Farseer's skills, level 2 for the Shadowhunter's heal wave very, very soon. And then, what's the unit comp going to be?
Yeah, unit comp is the big concern for FoCuS. With his Raiders, this was the perfect army for map control and playing out his advantage well. But when Infi gets to 70 supply casters, mass Raiders plus Shadowhunter is gonna be so awful. So FoCuS should perhaps try to be aggressive with his Raider army right now, while he can still get good value out of it.
Tiny Great Hole coming. Whew, the double level 3. This once again looks like a good timing. Infi expects this expansion to come up. How can he know about? Okay, maybe behind this attack. SimCity, as you said, great. The farms are blocking. Not much surface area for the Raiders to do damage, but ensnares are flying on the repairing footmen. What do we have for Infi? It's only Stormbolt, no Clap, no Lightning Shield anymore. And the Raiders, slowly but steady, find the damage, diminish the resource of Infi. He's at 1,000 gold, that's fine. One Raider dying. You wait maybe a little too late.
How brilliant was this farm wall?
Yeah.
Without this farm wall, this Expo would already be dead. It's probably still falling, but it would have gone down much, much faster.
Town Portal now! Can he prevent this somehow? So much attack! He gets it! Town Portal comes in, so he can kill a couple of units with Stormbolt, maybe. But Infi, supply stuck, Expo broken, down attack!
That is a super painful loss right there.
Oh, China trailing once again. Archmage and Mountain King did a great job in killing these peons to grind a little experience and lower the income, but that's not the case anymore. He reproduces them easily. It's way more expensive for Infi to set up the second base again. And of course, this repair, how many peasants did he use for that repair? Like 12? He's broke now.
Great Wolf Scout up there as well. Sees where the opponent is. That could lead to a dangerous creepjack, but Infi keeps on rebuying those TPs. He's playing it safe, and he certainly has to against so many Raiders and Hex. He's getting more experience. Level 2 MK. That's okay for the Clap, I imagine. But here comes that creepjack. This is definitely going to cost another TP.
And this is more and more gold. He wanted to invest that into the 70 supply death push human army, but it's absolutely not happening. He struggles to even get to 50. And now we got Wyvern in the mix. Yes, of course, Water Elementals are good against that. Casters can attack them, but there's no rifleman. There's no real damage. He might force Infi into a Griffin Aviary, but that's more expenses that he can't afford right now.
Yeah, Infi is really reeling here. Still holding on, still playing passively. But it's not impossible. If Infi has a few more minutes and if he gets this big army, this Orc force will struggle in the late game. If we reach even supply somehow.
Okay. More and more Wyvern. Does he have envenomed spears? I'm not sure.
You should definitely get it. It's a great upgrade if you're on tier 3. Not that expensive.
FoCuS playing this, or continues to play very, very smart. 150 IQ play throughout this entire series. Gets one of the Sanctums. And this is only one production building at the moment. And this time, the architecture here in the base is not that great. Lots of surface on the keep.
And the peasants also having a tough time reaching behind the farms and everything to come in with the repair. Now the human army comes in to defend as well, immediately ensnaring the AM. Forces a TP quickly. AM hit level 4 there just a second ago. But the damage output of Infi is just so minimal.
Yeah. And the one of FoCuS is sick. We saw envenomed spears. We got 6 Wyvern in the air. He can just one-shot peasants. And he's not going for Griffin Avery, but Workshop. FoCuS shuts it down immediately. He's not allowing Infi to do anything in this game.
And now there's no TP anymore on this human side. This is super dangerous. Envenomed spears stacking up. The damage is high. Militia trying to do their best, but they are not very durable. However, Shadowhunter low mana. FoCuS is running out of sustain here. And when there's no more healing, maybe Infi can finally start to get some kills.
The Iceman, again, with the nerves. He's not giving this up. He's fighting until there's no chance anymore. We have seen this the other way in other big tournaments, Masters Colosseum. But this looks pretty good now. Did he weather the storm with this forced TP?
It's still a little rough. This cost all the militia from the main. He had to bring them all, so there was no mining going on. Infi is still struggling at around 45 supply. He's never getting close to this big, powerful human army. And that's because FoCuS is reading the game well and is always forcing engagement before that point. FoCuS TP'd back, healed up. Where's he going next? For the next attack, of course.
He's not allowing Infi to go any anti-air. Holy. This is so impressive. The timings that he has, the decisions that he makes. No one talked about FoCuS, but I think after map 1, we definitely will praise him. The damage against structures is just so insane. Another town portal. But it doesn't do anything.
It's way too much damage.
Would love to see the upgrades on the Raiders. This is not 0-0 Raiders, is it?
Yeah, it's 1-0.
Okay.
I'm really impressed with FoCuS, man. Like, playing the Raider contain against the expansion, that's kind of a standard play. But finding the strong late game transition with this big, hard to use Raider army. Really sick.
Even a Bat Rider in the mix now against possible anti-air. It's of course super hard for Infi to do anything. Like, the anti-air of human, what do you got? You got Dragon Hawks, but there's Ensnare against it. You got Gyrocopters, but you can counter that with Bat Riders. You can add some Riflemen, of course, but there's Wolves and Chain Lightning. It's not easy for Infi to find a solution to this army.
Yeah, I think a big problem for Infi this game may have been losing the TP when he did that early into the game. That way he was not able to be more bold with the AM in the defense. Trying to expand again, but this is definitely going to be cancelled.
Is he adding liquid fire with this one bat, by the way? That's brilliant. Rifles are falling way too quickly to the Ensnare and FoCuS fire. Nothing stands a chance against this Wyvern right-click.
Yeah, just way too much supply now. This is not an even fight. Not even close.
No.
With the help of the towers, Infi is trying his best, but FoCuS waiting until he's running out of heal wave, and then he's probably going to fall back again.
This is crazy. He doesn't even have to force anything. He knows he has twice the supply. Economy is the same. Heroes scale well. He's close to 5, or getting close to 5-5 with all the kills. 0 lumber because of all the militia usage.
Infi against the ropes. We have seen him come back from crazy situations, but this would be a new high, I think. He is so far down. in this game, but he's not giving up yet.
Not yet, but there is... Okay, there's a TP. Focus fire on the Archmage. Mountain King does a lot of damage. This is TP number what? 6?
And we've seen a lot of those. There was a ton of gold that Infi had to put into those items. A big reason why he was never able to get to that strong 70 supply army.
FoCuS with the pendulum of doom attacks. To the expansion, to the base, to the expansion, to the base. Just left, right, left, right. No chance for Infi to respond in time. He's canceling this again.
Yeah, Wind Riders don't have much damage against finished buildings, but against buildings in production they certainly do. MK in trouble, and he's gonna fall. That's it. GG 1-0 for FoCuS.
Paint me surprised, man. I have rarely seen Infi getting demolished in a human versus orc matchup like this.
Yeah, at the beginning, the expansion looked like a good idea. FoCuS couldn't do anything about it coming up because he didn't have any grunts, only the Farseer harassing. But FoCuS realized very smartly he can claim complete map control with the Raiders, with the Shadow, with the Hex. He can kill so many units and trade so well. Tech up behind that to tier 3. I wonder if there was some mistakes, perhaps, that Infi made in that defense. We would have to ask some outstanding human players for that. It wasn't any obvious ones. It wasn't any glaring ones where he lost the AM for no reason or something. But what are you supposed to do? Whatever you send in just gets ensnared and killed until you finally have that big army.
Yeah, I think so too. Maybe with this expansion, he opens up a playstyle that FoCuS likes more than the typical TC Shaman play. Because this was like orc plays par excellence. Using the strength of the Raiders, transitioning in pretty much the best way possible.
Yeah. We see the highlights here. Just a second ago, we saw that TP on the AM early. This might be one of the things to look to. If he hadn't lost that, could he have been able to hold better when first that 50 supply Raider army was hitting his main base especially? Man, they're cutting fast through these highlights. It's like a Fast and Furious movie over here.
But we are in sync today, right? So this OBS solution helps. Right? Okay.
Yes.
1-0 for pretty much the underdog. 75% of the votes of our viewers went to Infi. Me and Snokers, we both said it's gonna be Infi. But damn. FoCuS, like, I'm not too sure if he knew that Infi would be going for this or if he just adapted on the fly. That was so impressive, so well thought out.
I think he had that kind of in his mental spreadsheet. Like, if he does Fast Expo, when I do go for the skipped grunt, then this is my follow-up. Because this is something you always have to fear going for that greedier, faster tech. And here we see the maps again. Concealed and Echo Isles left. Echo Isles also a great expansion map, but with what just happened, is that going to be the best call? I don't know. Next we're going to go to Concealed, though. Infi's choice.
And that is interesting, because only judging from the statistics, that is, next to Terraner Stand, his weakest map versus Orc.
I think most of the time, though, players appreciate more their feeling about a map rather than just pure numbers about a map. So if he feels he has a good creep route, good game plan, something that he can execute, and works well, if he does execute it well, then perhaps this is why he chooses the map. Level 3 creep route for the AM, always crucial when we don't go for fast expansions, when we go for one base play. And that on Concealed can absolutely be doable, normally much better than on Northern Isles, and also on Echo Isles, I think.
Okay, we are moving into map number 2. Before we do that, a couple of supporters here. Thank you very much, Grey Phantom, for the sub. New Hero for the €25 donation. Much love, birthday boy. Thank you very much. I Play You Win, Jonas, F4F4F4, Abschranzen, iGods, Traveler, Muka, Dwitch, Noodle. Thank you guys for the subs. And we load in. Will Infi be the 5th Chinese player thrown to the lower bracket? After Alice, after 120, after Linguagua, and Colorful. And will FoCuS follow his Korean friends into the winner bracket final.
Is this story really going to continue throughout all of the group stage? Is FoCuS going to beat Infi? And then Shimiko going to beat TH? That would be pretty crazy. We're going to see here.
It's not impossible, though.
It is not true.
Yesterday, once again referring to the Chinese community, they said yesterday, okay, that was to be expected. That was not our strongest players. Today is China Day. Not the greatest start for this.
Sometimes a little wake-up call like this can help, though, and perhaps Infi needed that. Perhaps this was just like a check on FoCuS. I'm going to try to fast expand against you. Let's see if you can punish me well enough, or this is going to be an easy win for me. And, well, FoCuS did find the punish, so Infi sees he needs to respect that possibility. But here now, I imagine this should be more of a one-base FoCuS play. FoCuS himself with the same build again, skipping the barracks, going for the Farseer first, obviously, and a very fast tech.
The fastest in competitive Warcraft. Well, is it still with the one build 1-0 showed us? But yeah, I guess it is. This build by Infi, of course, that he showed in game 1, can throw the opponent off because it signals him, yo, I might play something different. Don't expect the expected. You have to expect the unexpected from me. And this, of course, forces a little more scouting, maybe. Could make FoCuS more insecure, but with how this game went, he should be very, very confident going into this second set.
And the AM is moving out on the map pretty quickly. Trying to get that level 2 this time around, perhaps without risking much at the big expansion creep.
Wolves.
Is he just running into FoCuS's main?
Looks like it, right? Fortitude. Wait, takes a turn?
Yeah, I was threatening it. But I think he, like the Burrow and the barracks both, should be pretty close to done by now. So I don't think that could do anything.
You can still militia creep up to level 2.
Yeah.
To get it. That's not the biggest issue. But FoCuS giving good taps on the Archmage's movement. And whenever Infi wants to creep something or wants to do some damage somewhere, FoCuS is just there and ready.
And the tech has started, and the militia are still not going out to the green camp. Also, this creep route, it's not easy to take, because this is no medium armor, so the footies can't take out the creeps too easily. Normally we see it more towards the top left at the kobolds, which seems to be easier. And still no militia usage by Infi.
Yeah, usually a master of multitasking and decision making. I don't know, this looks like it's on purpose, but Archmage down to 60%, takes out the wolves. Okay, gets level 2 with the wolves and saves the green spot for later. Maybe that's his thinking. He either forces mana up the Farseer or gets experience. And now feels brave enough to do this. Can.
Nice thing here for the human also in the early game is if you do happen to take a lot of damage on the AM, you can heal him for free at the fountain. That also goes for Footman. And the Farseer is so far not lucky enough to get any last hits. The big spider crab is still up for grabs. But yeah, the AM has a big experience lead here.
What do? We play standard this time. Beastery, TC, Lodge.
What do we get from Infi? Some humans still like playing rifles, but it seems like most humans have transitioned back to breaker casters, which seems to be stronger in the late game, especially, of course, against the TC. And the breakers don't have to be concerned about the strength of the stomp. But I think FoCuS is fine with this early game. Yeah, he has no experience on the Farseer at all, but that is actually alright. The AM is still not level 3. In fact, he's pretty far away from level 3, and now the TC, the true carry of the late game, can start creeping heavily.
Exactly, and there's so much experience on FoCuS side of the map, and with this level 2 only, Infi should have no real solution to this, to harass this, not like he has a Blade Master to his hand or something. It is double Sanctum. No rifles or anything against upcoming Kodo Beasts. And how much time does the TC have? Because Infi has to fall back a little as well. As much as FoCuS needs levels on the TC, Infi needs levels on the Mountain King.
Yeah, some humans in Asia have been playing the MK level 1 pretty aggressively to harass the TC, especially on this map. TC loves solo creeping the expansion. With a human close by, though, that can be a little bit dangerous. So the TC is actually joining forces with the Farseer. And seeing the AM so low HP is quite tempting. One Purge into a Stomp could easily be a TP or a kill.
Exactly. We do have Purge, we do have a Speed Scroll, we do have Stomp first, not Endurance Aura. And Infi is falling back, realizes this. He's going for the Overlord?
Does he get the surround? If not, this is a lot of wasted time. He does get it.
Okay. FoCuS is not moving into the middle. Interesting, not even contesting this. When everything was kind of hurt. So this is time for Infi. Oh, and this is wonderful. Unholy Aura for more movement speed against Purge and Endurance Aura. Great. And of course, it's going to get slow as well.
Yeah, to keep up with the movement speed of the Orc, this is a great item that finally makes the usually so sluggish human army a little bit more maneuverable.
And this last minute of the game, I think, is the biggest accomplishment for Infi in this entire series already. Gets the red spot, creeps up level 3 and 2, and FoCuS got the shop. Nothing else.
Excellent creep brought here by the human, absolutely. Great use of militia as well. They just helped with the red camp. Now they're back, already going to the next camp. That is the lab here now, which is going to be solo experience for the MK, getting him closer to level 3. And no matter what you find here, everything is pretty good for the MK, outside of Scroll of the Beast. That one is not the greatest. But the one of Mana Steel against an enemy TC, quite nice.
True that. Sometimes it's an issue to apply that item on ranged heroes, but since the TC and the Mountain King are both in the middle of everything, this is gonna work really, really good. Heal Scroll invul for FoCuS, and that is very, very close to 3. It actually is level 3, but same goes for the MK. Yes, there were some nerves on Stomp and Clap, but it's still the carry spells.
Absolutely. FoCuS here with the good old Lin build that he showed us and revolutionized the matchup last WGL. 2 Grunts, 2 Kodos, 2 Shaman. Turned out to be very strong in the early mid-game stages. But what Lin also played with that was always an expansion. We have no expansion yet. There is a red dot, in fact, in the top left, so Infi knows there's no expo. And on 1 base, normally the longer it goes, the better it is for the human.
Yeah, maybe he can't feel quite comfortable calling militia to this, so maybe he's the one to expand. TC, though, with a big Stomp. This Overlord. Oh, Infi got it somehow. And that's level 3. What a big upgrade and what an important moment to this game. TC at 50%. There's more Stomp, but what can he really do? Militia call. Perfect for this fight. Clap on the TC. And he has the invul potion for 7 seconds only. And then he has to go or he will fall.
It seems like FoCuS needs to back up now with a Scroll of Speed. He's still staying in this for a little bit longer. Scroll isn't running for too much more time. But the Orc unit still fairly decently healthy. Nice Lightning Shield right there doing big damage. And suddenly, Infi's in trouble in this fight. Has to TP out, loses one more Breaker. Level 2 for the Farseer. More Lightning Shield. 1 Grunt goes down. And I'm sure those Kodos got a nice snack as well.
What happened? Like, MK ran out of mana as well. Shouldn't really be the case. I thought he could put way more pressure on this TC and force a retreat, but FoCuS, showing bravery, stayed in and did a lot of damage. Definitely cancelled any expansion plans for Infi. Everything else would be a little suicidal, not going back up to 50.
Yeah, I think Infi used a little too much Stormbolt in that fight. Level 1 Stormbolt, pretty weak at this stage in the game, honestly. Yeah. Could have instead saved all his mana for Clap, and with that would have had more Claps to use, but he didn't. Infi doesn't care though. He just lost the fight. He's still expanding. That is really risky.
Yeah, and when you're down 0-1, You put all your hopes into an expansion that absolutely did not work in game 1, and an expansion that you really don't need.
It's a very different kind of expansion from map 1 though. Early Expo always loses you all map control. But this is a mid-game expansion. Once it's finished, he can pump into a good army instantly. And if he gets up to 60-70 supply, he's still gonna be very strong. I think FoCuS is making the mistake right now. He's not looking for this greedy option. He's creeping his side of the map now. He's giving Infi tons of time, which the Chinese player, of course, loves to see.
And maybe that is the mindset of a champion. Outsmarting FoCuS. He probably thinks the same as we did. He just lost the fight. He needs to resupply to 50. He needs these items. He can't possibly expand. But Infi with quite a swerve here. Can we see blue dots on the map? Not really, right? The wolf sees the creep. Did he scout the bottom right as well? I'm not sure.
Oh, great for the scout right here. Sees the approach of the orc army. Which Infi, of course, has to respect. We're still at 50 supply on both sides. Infi's gonna pump into upkeep quickly, though. But he also needs invulns. He would like to have heal scrolls. There's so many things Infi needs, but he has to cut some corners.
He got a Griffin Aviary instead. One breaker gets caught. Level 4 TC, double level 4 on Infi side. Invul Potion Heal Scroll for FoCuS, Invul Potion Mana Potion for Infi, and that clap was pretty good, and that's the sign for FoCuS to retreat.
Yeah, this position outside the main is great for the human. It's very narrow. It's very hard to get overrun by Speed Scroll and TC Stomp, because that's especially dangerous. Having no TP anymore to protect the AM, only a single invul, is a little risky. FoCuS is expanding on the high ground. He wants to counter expand once again. But this is not necessarily very favorable for the orc in this kind of game to go super late against MK breakers.
Expansion on the high ground. Very, very interesting ideas by both players here. With this big range army of Infi, of course, hard to fight, as there will be missed chances fighting uphill. I'm sure Infi can find solutions and play around that.
Wow, he actually scouted it.
You're sick, right?
What a read. He can't attack it yet, though. His army isn't big enough. He doesn't have a TP. And he's gonna lose his shop here as well, which is gonna mean no more breakers for a while.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. FoCuS is investing a lot into this expansion. There's also a tower, and that's all the resources Infi is pushing into his army. 64 supply. Needs a little more. Army of breakers is really big, though. How big will the impact of the TC be against this wall?
Yeah, that's like 8-9 breakers. That is a really good amount. And this is always the super late game orc issue, how to deal with breakers. Stormbolt onto the TC, looking for the big clap as well. Somehow the Shaman were that far forward. TC in trouble. Invul Potion keeps him alive. Stomp coming in, MK hit, but nothing else really. AM has to be careful. He's getting ensnared and focused. Invul transferred, though. With that, the first hero should be fine. Another Stomp comes in, but again, it wasn't the most amazing. This late game army is starting to make a lot of sense for the human, and the TC's in trouble. Heal Scroll saves him. Speed Scroll as well. All the scrolls used. And just barely the heroes stay alive. But now it's the AM in trouble again. Doesn't have a TP anymore. He's TPing out with the TC. Needs to be careful with him and the AM as well. The last hit from the Farseer actually gets the kill.
The Prophet on the Wolf. What a hero. Saving FoCuS's game. Dude, sick focus fire on that TC. He eliminated him from the fight pretty much after like 4 seconds. Stormbolt, Breaker FoCuS, diminishing the mana. He had to get out immediately. There was time for the invul, of course, but that was it. Great reaction by focusing. Okay, I got no chance in this fight whatsoever. All I can accomplish is a hero kill. Mountain King, a lot of HP, plus the ring. Too hard to do. Archmage is the only target I can go for, and he did, and he succeeded. But Archmage back from the tavern. Infi pushing towards FoCuS's expansion.
Infi, by the way, once again, I like the confidence from him. He's going lots of breakers, priests, no swords. Infi probably the only human in the world who's not concerned with playing with slow. He thinks his micro is good enough that he can outplay his opponent without slow.
And Infi is turning it around. We thought, okay, he has to fight uphill thanks to this high ground expansion, but guess what? The high ground belongs to him. Tower's taken out. He's not blocking the Orc army from entering this mountain as well. Interesting choice. We have an invul on the TC, heal scroll. Invul potion on the Archmage this time. That's Infi's reaction to the hero focus of fight 1.
How many ensnares does he have? And purges to go for hero kills is the question. I see like 3, 4... Ah, it's more. Like 4, 5, 6 purges. Not too many ensnares. Only a single raider left.
Good harass by FoCuS. Splitting one grunt into Infi's peasant line. Got like 3 to 4 kills already. Water Elemental as a response to that threat. But it looks like we stabilized on 2 base, 2 base.
Yeah. Very even in supply here. But looking at the hero levels, there's one mad cow standing out above the rest. The TC is almost level 5, and that is a super strong level up. Not against breakers, but against everything else. Stormball on the Farseer. He's way too far forward. Has to use that heal scroll or invul. He does to stay alive. Storm from the TC again didn't hit too much, mostly the MK, but he's getting healed. He is tanky to begin with. AM again in a bit of trouble. Invul transit with that. The TC doesn't get the Storm connection. The MK is fine. The next heal scroll used by the Orc side. That was the last one. FoCuS on the AM again. It's all hero kill by FoCuS.
But where's the damage? He can't really do anything. The Raiders are falling like flies. Goes for the Mountain King again. Here's the Chain Lightning, and there's no... Or is there another solution? I don't think so. MK dead and TC5. Is that the big decision? Or can Infi eliminate the army? Everything down to 50%. FoCuS has to run and heal.
Infi wants to Tavern revive the MK. Does he have the lumber for this?
100 only.
Apparently not. Just spent a lot of gold as well. No more mining at the High Ground Expo.
Oh.
Barely any mining at the Natural Expo.
Is this a game of StarCraft or what? They harass each other everywhere. And Infi, the balls, man. He just lost his second hero, his carry, and he's attacking this base? No, now he's backing
It's
off.
so risky. The AM has nothing. No invul, no TP. Literally nothing. His inventory is empty. And if he loses that hero as well, this game is over. Infi's falling back, playing it safe, waiting for the MK to come back, and I'm sure he would love to have that juicy potion of invulnerability.
This is 2 scrolls for FoCuS. 50 supply only. Infi definitely has the bigger army, by far, but he has to wait for the MK. There's no way he can pick a fight without this. We see the Breakers, by the way, with Control Magic taking over the Wolves, so their time is over.
Yeah. 3 Breakers in the stomach, by the way. That's 9 supply. It's about to be getting devoured. That might be level 5 Farseer. If he splits the TC away to get the solo XP, that should be level 5.
It doesn't do that at the moment. Farseer's value is definitely decreasing against this mass Breakers. Wolves are being like completely useless soon, and Chain Lightning, yeah, you can apply that, but to casters, what's the follow-up really? For Hero Nuke, it's the best thing he can do, I guess.
Yeah, if he goes for Wolves, they're really good for the Expo harass, but in the fight, he can't use them. They're just gonna backfire on him.
Zeppelin. Infi pushing for the expansion once again. He is the aggressor, and there's no repair. Is this all of a sudden a base kill? FoCuS doesn't want to allow this level 5 Archmage. Infi has to turn around, and he goes for the Archmage once again. There's an Invul Potion. There is a TP. He will be safe for a second. Really greedy! I saw the Stomp already in my mind. But okay, TP out. And again, this Great Hall still stands.
Yeah. AM positioning there, not the greatest, but okay, he survives with the TP. And FoCuS holds on to the Expo. But Infi's numbers keep on rising. The issue still remains, how can you deal late game with Breakers? The TC doesn't do it, the Kodos don't really do it, and nothing else does it either.
Wave after wave after wave of attack landing at this Great Hall. So far, FoCuS did a marvelous job in defending this, but this time is over. Infi, 2 base, FoCuS, soon to be 0 base actually, as we mine out Concealed Hill. Storm was not that great, only hitting the Mountain King a little premature. Kodo... Oh, Infi gets it and TP's out, knowing that his Mountain King will be in trouble. No level 3 Chain Lightning, and he saves pretty much everything while getting the Great Hall.
and always sending water elementals back towards the expansion to protect the peasants. One water elemental plus tower should definitely be able to take out 2 wolves. And Infi looking to be now in a good position. There's not too much left in the mains. And once the mains run dry, FoCuS will have to win this game.
Yeah, man. Infi, again, how much gold was invested into town portals this game as a clear reaction, obviously, to the strong hero focus of the Korean. But now, he can just, for once, for the first time in this game pretty much, he can be at home. He can be the one defending, and you don't have to be aggressive anymore.
Using the invis wolves from the enemy to trail him like a shade and give him information. Yeah. Great play here by Infi.
Yeah, the wolves might be great in the harass, but there's no harass anymore, and Infi will have breakers there to deal with it. So smart.
FoCuS has to go in. He knows time is against him. He's trying to do something, but it seems to be an overwhelming number. He'll stroll again, trying to go for the hero kill. Can he get this Mountain King? It doesn't look like it. He's too tanky. He kept the agi items for all that sweet armor. The TC, though, he's in trouble. Zeppelin needs to save him, or the potion. He has a lot of ways to stay alive, but not many ways to win this fight. Militia coming in from the main. The mains have expired. No more income for FoCuS. Everything is falling apart here for the Orc. This must be the equalizer for Infi. Big supply lead now for him, coming in with a few more stomps, or rather claps, I should say. He has all the summons. He has the wolves and the elementals, and he's killing everything that FoCuS is throwing against him. One last hero kill perhaps towards the end. No, not even that will be given to FoCuS. The MK stays alive and even reaches level 5 towards the end, and that is the GG and our 1-1.
What a great game. What a strong comeback by Infi after this very one-sided affair that we had on Northern Isles. A very different Infi and a lot more entertaining this game. Like, multitasking was really good. Game plan was really good. This is how we want this game to be.
Yeah, so much of that game came down to the mid-game creep route, or even early-game creep route, before the second heroes were out. The fact that the AM was in the middle of the map, he was like at that green camp with a spider crab, and threatened the creep jack at the Orc natural, that dissuaded FoCuS from creeping as natural and expanding it as natural. Positioning and decision-making, again, looking stellar by Infi, bringing us to a game 3. Which is going to be on Echo Isles.
Is it expansion time again? This is, of course, the big question here. But yeah, Infi with the heart of the champion. Like, this one map didn't throw him off at all. Didn't crumble under the pressure. And that's why we call him the Iceman.
We move into the highlights. And we're zapping through them pretty quickly once again. This was the crucial move right here. Right here, when the AM is sticking around this part of the map, the TC was close to the gold mine, but didn't feel comfortable enough to actually creep the gold mine. The red camp snipe was nice, and the expansion attempt was surprising how good of a fight FoCuS was able to take here, and then Infi still expanded. If FoCuS had known, and he had played aggressively against it, this game could have looked very differently, but FoCuS' scouting, I guess, it was in the end his downfall.
Yeah, that's the difference. Infi scouting immediately, then focus on the high ground. FoCuS not scouting for the surprise expansion and not making sure he has vision everywhere on the map. Really cool how they counter each other. This is very, very high class Warcraft right here.
And I'm glad to see that FoCuS is showing up in shape. We were all a little bit worried that he's going to be the big underdog here. He hasn't had the best few months recently. But I think this was a pretty solid performance. Scouting was a mistake there on map 2, but for large parts, this was pretty good. The TC, the first fight with the TC level 3, we thought he was supposed to be losing, but he took a winning fight right there. And this is going to be very promising for map 3. Echo Isles, a very special map in this matchup. Normally, this is the only map that you're supposed to be able to expand on as human, but we saw Infi already doing it on Northern Isles. That failed. Is that gonna mean no more Expo? These are probably exactly the thoughts going through the players' minds as well.
Indeed. Before we go into the details of this match, we have a couple of more supporters here. Thank you very much, Chriser, for your 6-year resub, 72-month, #1 and still with us. Thank you very much. Bonus TV, And soon with the resubs and grills with a 10 euro donation. Happy birthday, Neo. Thank you very much for your kind words, guys. Okay, so what's the thinking now? Infi expanded on Northern Isles. If you FoCuS, do you expect an expansion because Infi loves to expand? Or do you think this didn't work on game 1, so Infi has to change his style? I think this is a rough situation for FoCuS as he doesn't know what's up.
Yeah, this could be an expansion again, but it will be a very different expansion. This is Echo Isles. It's easier to creep the Expo to start with. And also, it has Merc Camp support. If you know the trick how to do it, you can pull the Shadow Priest when you're on the way to the Expo. With that, you have 2 dispels right away against the Wolves. And the Expo creep plus 1 Wolf dispel is instant level 2 for the AM. So this could very well be an expansion, even if FoCuS is expecting it.
All right, this is it. Game 3. Who's going into the winner bracket final against the winner of Fly and X-Lord? Is it Infi? Everyone expected Infi to go there. But yeah, he not too active this year. More streaming than competing. But he recovered from the defeat on map 1. Is he going into the winner bracket final with the momentum he got on Concealed? Or can FoCuS on his map strike back?
Whoa.
Whoa, what?
That's a 9 supply War Mill. That is what we call the grubby build. That's Farseer Headhunters. Somebody... Wait a minute. He's not making a barracks, though. Okay, this is not exactly the same build, but it is an early War Mill. Okay, here comes the barracks now. I was about to say, is he going to tower him without units? That would be weird. No, it is Farseer, Headhunters, no grunts, and a very early scout with a peon.
Okay. Is that the times we live in now? Headhunter openings actually viable?
Against undead, I've been telling you, it's really good. Against human, I'm not so sure yet. But I guess we're gonna find out here.
Wow. FoCuS with the curveball. For so many years, he was the standard orc. Against human, though, he always switched it up because he was so desperate in that matchup. From fall 2016 to summer 2018, he was always eliminated by a human, first by Fortitude, then by TH. And that kind of sparked something in him that he had to change something. And he tried almost everything, I thought, with Blademaster, with Farseer, with Wyvern Harasses, like literally everything that was thinkable. And this is another curveball by him, opening with Headhunters.
Infi with the first camp finds the claws right away. That is a nice advantage not to be underestimated. That is so much more damage given enough time. We see an Arcane Tower already, or rather a Scout Tower, coming before the tech. Does that mean expansion? Normally with Expo we would assume to see 4 farms though. FoCuS is teching. He's got his Headhunters on the way.
Yeah. Only 1 barracks. We have seen yesterday Lin Guagua with double racks against Lin. Yeah, it's not that crazy.
Yeah. It's also not the fastest Headhunter additions. Like, the barracks was late to begin with. The tech was pretty fast. So the barracks was late, first Headhunter comes out, and then there was a halt in production. So the next Headhunter is also late. So until he gets to 3 Headhunters, takes a really long time. Somehow the Farseer, though, keeps stealing last hits. He denied level 2 on the AM. Whoa. Massive play.
That is no Brilliance Aura. That is no Mana Regen. Well, of course, there's a little bit of Mana Regen, but not mentionable.
And he's getting ensnared now.
Yep, and poisoned. That's a lot of damage. That's level 1.5. Surround attempt by Infi, but Headhunter's blocking the way. Oh, FoCuS slipping a little with the macro. This handshot, Headhunter's gonna fall. Bare knuckle box fight at the early stages.
AM now finally very close to 2, but not having that level 2 for the Brilliance is very noticeable. He gets it from a peon. Oh, that was lucky that the Scout peon got ensnared right there. Finally, now with the Brilliance Aura. Yeah, losing those Headhunters hurts. That's a lot of momentum lost. And if you don't have an AM with boots against you, that should never happen. But sometimes, you know, multiple things happening at the same time, you can't have perfect multitasking at all times. Natural creep now by Infi, but I think he started teching, right? So
must be. This is so late in the game. And FoCuS had still a pretty decent tech despite the Headhunter build. He has map control, but Infi again sees this, knows what's up, can react his movement, or can adjust his movement rather, to FoCuS's play. Level 2 unlocked for the FoCuS a lot earlier. And this is a clear sign that it's not Todd playing. We got 2 claws on Infi.
That's a lot more damage. If he had boots as well, he could be pressuring these Headhunters very effectively, but without, it's going to be a little bit harder. What's the second hero for FoCuS? Should be TC, right? I mean,
yeah,
it's the best hero. Unless he wants to go for some crazy pressure play with Hex, Focus, Fire. But he's not going up against an early expansion this time around.
Defend upgrades. This is, of course, wonderful against the Headhunters when the biggest amount of damage is coming from piercing damage. Defend pretty much counters piercing damage. So we go Headhunter, Shaman, TC.
Alright. TC, once he's out with this number of Headhunters, should also be able to creep really quickly. Headhunters on this map, pretty effective for creeping. They do much better against heavy armor than against medium armor. And on Echo Isles, there's tons of heavy armor, compared to some other maps especially. Surround on the Ogre Magi. Opens it up though. Whoa, that was pretty sloppy by FoCuS.
FoCuS is quite hurt. So are the Footmen. Chain Lightning would be great. Not sure if he has the threshold. Okay, 1 kill. He needs more to make this Chain Lightning worth it. Wolves are chasing. Double kill. TC not in range to get experience. But for the FoCuS, it's once again great.
MK coming in. Does he get the Storm?
Only on a Headhunter. Not forcing a TP. TC comes in as well. FoCuS is living a dangerous life. And the Headhunters, the kiting, doesn't seem to be so great if the defense Footman can reach them.
Yeah, it's 3 Headhunters down, traded for 3 footies. But you're gladly giving away Footmen. That is not your late game army, whereas Headhunters certainly are. This is a total of 4 Headhunters going down this game. And suddenly, we only have 3 left. This also means the TC's creep speed isn't that high anymore. If he does go to creep.
Not at all indeed. So, is this Ogre Magi falling finally? Nope. FoCuS contesting this. Still with only 3 Headhunters. Where's the damage?
Love this play by Infi. He's using his army to force away FoCuS, to trade hits, and the Militia and the Water Elemental take out the Magi. That's big experience for him. And the big item. Excellent.
So Remo, what do we get?
Wand of Mana Steel, I think it was. Yeah.
What? How do you know that?
It said 2 in the...
Ah, you are so much smarter than I am.
And now we're going south towards the next neutral camp. Infi looking really confident now. His army isn't that big. He has no militia support in here. Perhaps this is the opportunity now for FoCuS to do something. Stomp hits part of the army. Kodo with the Devourer trying to get in. Speed Scroll used for this, but doesn't get the Devourer off. Another Headhunter goes down and a Shaman. And suddenly this mass Headhunter army is down to only a single Headhunter.
It's an absolute mess. Infi with the rabies very successfully trading in these fights. FoCuS's army is pretty much non-existent, and that's the clap right now. Yes, he takes out Footman, but what does that matter? He's trading it for Headhunters. He's trading it for Shaman. There's no purge. Oh my. Infi absolutely demolishing him so far.
Yeah, Infi making this Headhunter strat look pretty weak. A few mistakes perhaps by FoCuS in this game. Maybe contesting the marketplace was not the right idea. Maybe with the danger of Militia and MK, you should have played more passively. But then again, when you have 5 Headhunters, you think you should be able to take it quickly. Crucial map movement again by Infi, being at the right spot in the right time and then contesting correctly.
Definitely. Definitely. He can contest everything. Like, he shouldn't shy away from any fight. There's always decent mana on this MK until, like, for now, there's always a little time to recover. And not allowing the invo potions, not allowing the heal scrolls. Because what can FoCuS do? Limited mana, army, non-existent. He's even calling Militia. Okay, switch to Wyvern now.
Did get off one Devour there, but the Kodo quickly after gets Stormbolted. No speed throw anymore to get that one out of harm's way. But also no slow, so the Kodo might be able to get away. MK in quite a bit of trouble over here. Not being healed currently.
Respects the Chain Lightning. We have a Sorceress in this game. Infi switching it up. Okay, FoCuS finds a way back. Clap
one
again.
More clap, that's 2 more Shaman going down.
Yeah. This Wyvern edition is good. He's trading a lot better now that he's not only taking out Footman.
Again, super scrappy this fight. Lots of losses on both sides. One priest survived. Even that Shaman somehow got away.
Okay. No expansion on neither side. How fast can FoCuS rebuild? And what's the army comp gonna be? How hard will and should he go on Wyvern?
Yeah, normally 1 is a good idea. Max 2, because the humans normally will go into the counter with the Dragonhawks. Peasants moving out again. Infi once more confident. Feels that he's in a good enough position to expand. And since he has crept it already, he can push behind this expand.
Very interesting situation of the game. For once, it's a little calm, and it gives both players the chance to do something new, to challenge their opponents in a different way. And Infi, in typical Infi fashion, is doing that with an expansion, as you said.
He's so close to double level ups here. Level 4 AM. Is that level 3 MK as well? He needs 1 more kill. 1 more kill for MK3. And as we saw previously, that can be so powerful with the clap. TC far away from level 3 himself. Normally in this matchup, it's supposed to be the TC with a level lead. But this Headhunter strategy didn't work out the early game. Absolutely did not go in FoCuS' favor. Then Infi not willing to fight right now. He's just going to fall back, get his level 3, get his expansion, and build a big strong army.
Could be the first win for China if Infi takes this map. Otherwise, it's 5-0 for Korea. It's a cool underdog story here. FoCuS way more competitive than pretty much everyone expected. But does he find a way out? Reinforced defenses makes pushing the base pretty much impossible.
Peons are moving out though, so he wants to expand now, counter-expand himself. But that's going to be a lot later than the Human Expo. Dude, this illusion scouting, by the way, is insane. Infi always knows what's up. Always knows where his opponent is, where he's supposed to be. Looking very strong now on map 3.
Yeah, same as in game 2. And that was the key to victory.
A little bit of a poke here at the expansion. No kills really found on either side. Great positioning on the AM this time. Protecting him against the corner with the buildings, with the army. We have seen how much FoCuS, hero FoCuS likes to play. Great clap from the MK through Invis. And these Shaman, oh boy, are they in trouble. That's the next stomp against the clap. But it's only the human finding kills over here.
How are the Shaman in this position? They are not supposed to be there. So exposed. Mountain King going havoc on the back line. TC in the meat as well, but it's only Militia that he takes out. Good trades for Infi once again. Trying to go for the caster, so it's only the breakers left because they don't do much without backing. But Infi clearly wins this fight and has the expo up, so it's time to mass and push.
Yeah, more and more priests and breakers coming. Very low on sources again. He had like 1 or 2 sources. We can see it. Some raiders sometimes are slowed, but it's mostly breakers and priests, and then very few sorks.
I'm really surprised to see a single Sork, actually. When was the last time we saw Infi with a sorceress?
Yeah, on Concealed we saw like 1 or 2 Sorks as well, but it was very, very few towards the end. But yeah, he's the human who plays the fewest of those. Oh, it's a bad feeling. You creep the camp and then the Nightcrawler goes back, has to finish him off with the clap because he's falling back asleep invis. And it's level 4 MK. That is the big, powerful level up for the dwarf, where now he has 2 strong spells with Stomp. I mean, Clap and Stormbolt.
Okay. 3 claws. This Archmage is quite a damage dealer. What's in for the TC? Pendant of Energy would of course be fantastic. Anything that helps him tank is also very good. Talisman of Evasion. Okay, it's gonna be a lot of projectiles firing at him, so big mischance for that. So once the turtles get crept on Echo Isles, you know it's time for the late game, and the Pendant of Energy goes to the MK.
And now you feel doubly inclined to go for mana pots, to make use of that perfect synergy with Pendant and potions. Dropping the Pendant on the ground, using the potion, then having additional mana increase.
Do you think he will do that during the fight if he's close to a TC?
If he's in danger of getting stomped and ensnared, maybe not. But then again, it's Infi, who knows? Might be using some Invis in between, go for the swag plays. I can see it. If you're Invis and you drop an item, does it reveal you?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not sure. Chat, help us out. We get the Witch Doctor Adept upgrade. And that means a lot of eyes on the map for FoCuS now, revealing the Invis Mountain King. And maybe Stasis Trap play.
FoCuS has definitely been watching some grubby streams, by the way. It is now confirmed with his Headhunter. But what he needs now at the moment is not vision, it's just pure muscle to hold on against this mass human army. It's not that big yet for Infi, it's 62 supply, but these towers are falling kind of quick. One does at least.
It's still some time for FoCuS to set up a good position. He's setting up a shop as well. This could help him. The towers do nothing but buy time. The damage is really ignorable. Kodo comes in, doesn't get the Devour off, and the TC has nothing to stun here with all these breakers. The position isn't really good. What can he stun really except the MK? So he's going for the MK with the stun and the Chain Lightning, but Hammer falls. TC has an invul but can't go for it. It's the other way around for the Mountain King, who saves himself into the 7-second invulnerability.
Dude, this AM from the back is looking like a lich. Did you see those fireballs?
Sick, right?
They were doing real whoosh damage. Hell yeah.
TC revive. Infi again claiming control over the shop and the tavern. This is so smart. It's the easiest move in the world to just move back a little. But it's just... it kills FoCuS's game now.
Yeah, it was already looking hard before for FoCuS, but now without his second hero, how is he supposed to do this? The Zexpo is defended somewhat well with one tower and a burrow. Infi changes positions a little bit. MK, what's he doing there? That's a little too far forward.
He has an invul and invis. And there's no damage. I mean, Chain Lightning, yep, but Infi won't risk it. Infi on the way to the first Chinese win in this tournament. Gyrocopter's out against the Wyvern. This time it's not that easy to deal with it. Stormbolt. We get a couple of Headhunters in, but it's so much medium armor. Raider falls immediately. And intercepting these reinforcements. One Raider down, one Grunt down. Again, perfect positioning by Infi.
Trying to force the hero to TP out perhaps, going on the AM, but man, without Stomp, this Orc army is so neutered.
It's nothing.
And harmless.
TC. Where's the TC? Is he moving back? Oh. I am confused. Anyway, big claps into the back line. Heal scroll had to be used, but that was the only one. There's the TC, okay.
Did you just buy a pendant somewhere? It's also full mana. Ah, yeah, he was in the middle, he got the staff and stuff.
Yeah.
Alright, TC, can you save your Orc brethren? You are their last hope.
72 supply for Infi. And again. Like, this was a good move by FoCuS to send the TC through the middle to get at least some items. This invul potion makes a lot of difference.
But Infi feels like he did enough damage. And I think he's right. He's falling back. Waiting for more army. Getting close to 80 supply. The breakers were already hard to deal with before. How to do it now?
It feels a little hopeless. Both moving back a little. Dust settles. Time to breathe. TC close to 5. MK also super close to 5. Oh my god, these items for Infi. Double heal scroll, mana potion, invul potion, pendant, all the claws. How are you supposed to beat this?
Yeah, perfect inventory.
Love the level 3 aura as well. On Infi, not going for water elementals.
Yeah, it's gonna go very nicely soon with level 3 clap. That Raider. That's the level 3 clap right there.
Doesn't even need it.
Oh, wait, was it denied?
Maybe, but it will be there soon. Infi patiently waiting for that level up, and now he got it. Have fun defending this FoCuS. Speed scroll. What can he do? What's the Hail Mary? What's the play?
And the MK is just cleaning up, going for the TC now. Focus onto him. Should have the time to pop the invul, and indeed he does. Infi's actually dropping here in supply. The AM is in trouble as well. He's got the invul also. Zap comes in, but only after the heal scroll. MK looking for the next big clap. And the damage is insane. The heal scroll at the shop. Who can get him first? MK still has a mana potion. That was the next heal scroll and the next clap. And now everything's in shambles. Gives the TP over just to be safe. No need to take any risks. FoCuS knows it's over. GG. And finally China wins. Infi with a 2-1.
The Korean streak is over, and did you see the disappointment in FoCuS's face? Throwing his head back like, oh man, this could have been my series. But not if you're up against an Infi in the shape of map 2 and 3. Very well played. And yeah, this clap, this shop control, how he owned Echo Isles. That was pretty impressive. I was worried after game 1, but my confidence in Infi is back after 2 and 3.
Yeah, FoCuS loses here, but he played pretty well. He did hang on for a long time, and especially on Northern Isles, I was impressed with how well he knew exactly what to do and how to transition out of the pressure into a strong late game. And on Concealed, it was also really close. It seemed like FoCuS had the lead, and Infi only luckily got up a sneaky expansion there, taking a bit of a calculated risk, I guess. But yeah, Infi is victorious, still looking strong. But FoCuS, I must say, not looking bad either.
I agree. FoCuS way better than we expected. In the lower bracket, he should have a decent chance against either Fly or X-Lord. That's going to be our next match here. The hype for the Lord is real. I see it all over social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram. And of course, you all in Twitch chat really excited about the 5-0 X-Lord as well. But yeah. What did Infi adjust that made game 2 and 3 look so much better than game 1?
I mean, it was a very different strategy, right? He didn't fast expand, and with that, he didn't put himself behind and played from behind. He just played a pretty even game and eked out little advantages here and there. On Concealed, it took a long time. On Echo, it was a lot faster, where he took the lead and played well then with the lead. So game 1, he played with a disadvantage from the early because of the fast expansion, and then he played with the lead. And yeah, FoCuS with the Headhunter strat, I don't know if it can work, if it's good. Not if played like that.
Hard countered by Infi. This first skirmish almost broke his neck already by losing so many Headhunters. The key to this Headhunter strategy, mass them and own with them, power creep with them. Their single target damage is great, but no, Infi did not allow this as all. Like, hey kid, you don't cheese me. Yeah, you don't do that versus Infi, but if you play straight up, it's again like, is that the answer? I don't know.
Yeah, Infi, one of the strongest humans in the world, proves it here. We're gonna have 3 more humans today. Chimiko, or 2 more humans. Chimiko and his brother in arms, TH. We're gonna be seeing them later in Group D. But yeah, first, it's time for Fly versus X-Lord, and this is my highlight of the day. I wonder what's going to happen here. Can X-Lord make the upset perfect? Is the Crypt Lord's might not going to be matched in China as well?
we have an interview. I think Wong is busy today as he has to work with WGL directly. But I see him in chat. Maybe he does find the time for the interview with Infi. Maybe Sean is there as well. So if anyone can help us out with the translation, here is the stage in Shanghai.
小组赛我也是备战了很多，但是霍克斯的打法我觉得还是出乎了我的意料的，尤其是第3盘吧，打得我一开始也是有点懵。然后整个3局来看，我觉得也算是一个翻盘吧，我觉得赢得蛮惊险。
那第1局的时候，我们看到其实 FoCuS 是通过强拆你这个2矿的基地，然后确立了一个胜势吧。当时你回顾复盘一下的话，你觉得如果防住这一次，或者说有没有可能防住这个强拆？
第1盘的转折点就是在我大法师 TP 被打掉的时候，就是如果我的大法师的 TP 在，我是可以主矿分矿都可以救的，就来回徘徊。大法师吸引仇恨，我甚至可以带福特曼去换家，但是 TP 没有了，导致我大法师就只能傻站着发呆。所以大法师是最关键的，就是大法师被 TP 被逼 TP 了之后，他打得很好，我觉得后边我其实已经没什么机会了。
那再回顾一下第3局决胜局吧。其实第3局是来到了矿点最少的一张图 EI， 那基本上在前期你们是单矿对峙了很久，这个跟在前2张图是不一样的。然后你率先开了2矿，再接着 FoCuS 也差不多晚了可能1分钟左右，也是开辟了2矿，然后接着就是你们一直在拉锯。那第3局的这个你觉得胜出的关键点在什么地方？
第3局我其实前中期是一个大优，然后 FoCuS 通过他的科多，然后科多吞破法，然后 TP 也是扳回来一些。但是我觉得第3局总的来说，我也是一直牢牢的把控了局势吧，我也是没有犯什么失误，英雄也没有说被秒，所以说就是稳扎稳打拿下了。现在人兽的这个对抗，我觉得一旦某一方有优势之后，另一方是很难翻的。
那也就是意味着人族和兽族前期的细节的较量是更加重要了。好，最后帮我们展望一下你们这个同组的下一场比赛吧。这个菲菲马上要对 Xloud 了，你会看好谁一点呢？
下场比赛我特别期待，因为这个德国选手 Xloud 也是赛前放出了豪言，他要用他的小强让 Fly 在空中飞翔，就是我非常的期待。我看好的话，我当然是看好 Fly 了。我觉得双方的实力还是有非常大的差距的，但是我也很期待 Xloud 的表现。
好的，那感谢英菲接受我们采访。
All right, seems like don't have a translation here so far, but maybe in the comments of this video or on Reddit. So, this is game number 1 out of 4. We got plenty more for you, ladies and gentlemen. And the next one is the most hype. It's going to be Fly versus Xlord. Bring the hype. Bring it on social media. Let the people know it's time for our Western champion to step into the ring while we see the highlights of this game here on Echo. Infi, the first Chinese in the winner bracket. FoCuS waiting for Fly or Xlord in the lower bracket here in Group C. We see each other after a little break.